What is going on, you guys? In this video, we're going to show no cards, no autographs. I'm just kind of giving you an update of what I've been doing over the past 10 days. It's been really interesting. So a lot of this got me motivated. I've been watching a lot of picker videos, not booger picker, but like guys that go to garage sales and buy stuff and then they sell it on eBay or sell it on Craigslist or what have you. There's a couple different guys I've been watching. Garage Flips, that's a channel. Cincinnati Picker is another one, and then Primetime Treasure Hunter. That's the three channels I've been kind of watching. And so, in case you don't know, like my family right now, my wife is in school, and so there's 6 of us, and we're living on one income, and it's pretty rough. I mean, we definitely have money, but we just have to be really smart with our money. So just watching these dudes, and they would go to these garage sales and so on and so forth, and buy something for $1, sell it for $5, and I'm like, my gosh, dude, like, how much stuff do I have that I no longer am in love with, or no longer collect, or no longer interest me, that I could freaking sell? And I started looking at my collection and put that, what I just said, aside, and over the past couple months I've seen different people make videos of their collections, and they were very nice and neat and organized and didn't have a whole lot of fat on them. You know, like those collectors were very focused. They knew what they wanted. And man, mine was like a freaking bad hair day, dude. Like, my collection is all over the freaking place. I got photos and cards and mini helmets and footballs and 16 by 20s. Like, oh my gosh, dude, it's all over the place. Sports I don't collect. All just craziness. So, between watching those videos of those pickers and watching these videos of these different people's collections, it kind of inspired me to downsize a lot. So the title, I'm not getting out of the hobby per se, but I'm definitely getting out of baseball, basketball, hockey, all of that. I'm going to just try to stick to not just football players and Hall of Famers, but I guess the easy way to say it is guys that the story of the NFL couldn't be told without them. You know what I mean? So there's bigger name dudes and there's little name dudes. Like someone, to me, like a smaller name guy would be like Christian Okoye or Ickey Woods, you know, the Ickey Shuffle. Like, I think that story has to be told in the history of the NFL. You know, Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare, this dude that just came out of nowhere and was knocking people's heads off their bodies because he was hitting them so hard when he was running down the freaking path. So that's the smaller name guys, and obviously we all know the bigger name guys. So what I started doing was selling anything and everything that I could that wasn't my new PC. I've had the same PC for 5 years now, but when I say my new PC, I mean strictly that. So I started selling off some things I was calling autograph bundles. I sold 10 of them to Michael Rhodes, which thank you, brother, so much for helping me out with that. And I sold a couple to Caleb from Caleb's Cards. And so it was like $25 and then $5 shipping. And dude, I was just loading them up, man. I didn't care about price or how much anything was. I was just shoving stuff in boxes to get rid of it. So it really cleaned up probably about 40% of what I want to do. So I want to continue doing that. And I'll probably do that over the next week or so. Maybe once they see what they got in the mail, maybe they want more. But to put in perspective, 10 days ago when this thing started, this shoebox was full. One row was completely full, and the other row was about freaking, I don't know, about 2 inches. No, I'm kidding. About 2 inches from being full. So the box essentially was full. And this is what's left now. What you see here, this is what I'm going to keep. These aren't exactly the most expensive cards. These are just cards that either mean and they just went everywhere. These are cards that either mean something to me or something that I think might have value in the future. I told you I wasn't going to show cards, and here I am showing cards. Like Will Myers, Matt Cain, autographed rookie refractors, Mike Mussina. You see nothing crazy. Michael Lorenzen, I remember him when I was in Pensacola. He was with the Blue Wahoos. He was such a great dude. I'm really happy to see him doing really well in baseball. So just stuff like that. Ken Caminiti, I got this in person at the Astrodome ages ago, and as we all know, Ken Caminiti passed away, I think, over a decade ago. Tony Eusebio, he gave me his batting gloves 2 days before the last game in the Astrodome. So he's a guy that probably no one knows and probably no one's ever heard of, but this autograph means a lot to me. Jose Lima, Lima time. I remember the last couple years in the Astrodome, dude, this dude would sign for 30 to 40 minutes on days that he didn't pitch. And he would pose for pictures, and he was probably one of the nicest guys to his fans that I've ever seen. And this little stack just is comprised of that. So that's what it's come down to. And have I been getting money? Yes. Have I been getting a substantial amount of money? Believe it or not, yes. I don't know a hard number. I can't tell you a hard number. If I had to guess, I would say somewhere between probably between $2,500 and $3,000 is probably where I think I'm at between selling everything. And I'm still not done. I probably have maybe about another $1,000 worth of stuff that I would like to move. But what have I been doing with that money? So I think myself, like so many of us, have debt, and I plan on retiring from the military in 3 to 5 years, and I would love to be debt-free. When I say debt-free, I mean no credit card debt, and hopefully no truck payment. We just paid off my wife's car about 2 months ago. So what I've been doing is $1 goes to my debt and $1 goes to reinvesting in my collection. So I've already put about $1,500 on a credit card, and I've spent, a couple $100 on some cards. So here's what I want to do with the rest of the money that I'm reinvesting in my collection. Is Jim Brown. So Jim Brown is doing a signing at the Chicago Sports Card Spectacular, I think it's called, in November. Shit never tastes good. And so he has 9 player era cards that are tops. Actually, some of them are Philadelphia, but Philadelphia tops is kind of what I like to stick to. I don't like to dabble in Fleer and all that stuff. So he has 9 cards, and I've already bought 6 of them, to include his rookie card, second and third year card. So I've already bought those. I have 3 more to buy, the 61, 62, and 63. I've already talked to a guy that's going to be setting up behind the curtain for a slight discount. I mean a tiny, tiny discount. Hopefully I'm going to do a player era project on Jim Brown. So huge. I would say Jim Brown is easily one of the top 5 Hall of Famers that are still alive as for player era sets that I'd love to complete. I'd love to do Jim Brown in person, the player era project, but it's just not going to happen. But I'd say like Jim Brown, Joe Namath, Joe Montana, Emmitt Smith for me is gigantic being from Texas. Barry Sanders. I mean, God dog it, I guess the list really goes on. Jerry Rice, and I probably could name another freaking 3 or 4 easy. I'd like to do LaDainian Tomlinson. He really got me into football years and years and years ago when I was stationed in California and he was still playing with the Chargers. Terry Bradshaw. Oh, I'll stop. That list could go on for probably another 5 minutes. But anyways, I would say Jim Brown's definitely in the top 3. So to get him done would be so freaking cool. I'm hoping and praying that Joe Namath is at the National next year in Atlantic City. He was the headliner the last time it was in Atlantic City. So we'll see. His rookie card alone is about $1,000 to $1,200, and it just goes north from there with condition. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hoping selling all of this junk, if you will, which it's not junk, it's just stuff that doesn't interest me anymore. Selling all that, I can buy something that truly I will think is awesome, and that would be the Joe Brown Player Error Project. I'm sorry, Jim Brown. God dang, man, I'm all over the place. So that is that. I appreciate y'all listening to me for basically 11 minutes of rambling. So let me know what you think down below. Do you have to trim fat from your collection from time to time? One thing I'm worried about is that I trim some fat that maybe I didn't want to trim down the road. Be like, oh man, I freaking had that card, or I had a ton of that dude's autographs, and damn it, I sold them. If you ever had freaking seller's remorse, I guess you could say. So that is that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate any comments y'all drop down below. I'm making a huge effort to start writing y'all back in the comment section. I've been so freaking bad about that through the years, and I promise you I'm going to make an effort to get better. So that is that. Adios. Be safe. Bye-bye. Doodles.